That was one of the best nights I've ever slept in the backcountry.
Really?
Oh man. Perfect temperature. Stars were amazing.
Why do people care about these places? Why are these places important? It's almost like what's hidden. I don't know. I think there's something there.
The word of North Cascades was always like, it's out there, it's way too isolated. You don't want to live there, you don't want to work there. You may not hear me. That was the word that the older generation would say, but when I got up here, I really was blown away and thought, that's not really that true.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Bill.
Maddie, good to see you in person.
You as well. Good to finally meet you.
Yeah.
The national parks are known as America's greatest idea, and people like Bill have committed their careers to preserving and protecting these awe-inspiring places.
I've always been very proud to work for the National Park Service. Part of the mission is to protect the resources for future generations. These parks are not just for American people, but also people from all over the world come. There's some fragility to that sense of conservation, protection, preserving for future generations, and I seriously feel that I'm contributing to the mission. I have really only lived here about 10 years, and I've worked here in this park for 5 years, so not very long. Just scratched the surface of what's here in this park.
What about it intrigued you or wanted you to keep coming back?
I think just, the quiet. I felt a real connection to the forest. Ever since I got my first taste of being in the mountains, I really connect with the mountains. It's a special place for me where I can, clear my mind and relax and absorb the natural surrounding, and how lucky I am to be in places like that. I originally got involved in the Park Service. I joined the Student Conservation Association when I got out of college, a couple years out of college. And I got an assignment down in Big Bend National Park in Southwest Texas. After that 6 months was up, I didn't want to leave. And so I got a job on the trail crew. That basically kind of sort of changed my life and my career, because I thought this is really what I want to do. Not thinking that I was going to be able to do it most of my career. I've always enjoyed challenging myself, and trails is perfect for that. It's basically your ability to be uncomfortable. And you're wet, you're hot, you're cold, you're sore, you're tired. There's a lot of principles, there's a lot of technique, there's a lot of theory behind trail work that a lot of people aren't aware of. I've kind of dedicated my career to improve, to protect, to maintain, to keep sustainable. And I feel like I'm providing that for the American public. Gravity's pulling them down, creating a berm here and narrowing the trail. So one of the things that we do as trail crews, we re-widen the bench, we re-widen that tread.
Yeah.
And so we want to remove that slough. But we need to also pay attention to the angle of repose. One of your main goals is to make it look like you've never been there. And so part of cutting brush back, you want to make sure you throw that off the trail so it's not visible. If you cut something or dig up something, you want to try to rehab that area so it doesn't look like you've been there. Get rid of your sawdust. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do for aesthetics. Aesthetics is very important. In my mind, especially in a national park, and you're in wilderness, so you want to make sure you're trying to preserve the wilderness character and also protecting the resource at the same time. So yeah, a lot of thought, a lot of theory and principles that go into it. It's just you learn over time or get the right teacher. kind of rewind back in time, when I was still in college in New York, I took a summer job in Yellowstone. That was my first taste of the big mountains in the Northern Rockies. And, they're much bigger than the Adirondacks. That was really the kind of spurred my interest of living out west and, how can I make a living and survive and recreate in the mountains. I wanted to get back into the trails world, and I got a job, my first permanent job with the National Park Service in Great Smokies. Then I felt like I wanted to take the next step and become a supervisor, so supervising an entire trails program, which was my next position, which I took in Cuyahoga Valley National Park in Northeast Ohio. But I was like, I need to get back out to the big mountains, and made my way back out west. Every park has its history. There's a long history here of amazing people that dedicated their lives to this kind of work. I seriously feel that it's one small way that I can contribute to that mission is maintaining trails so they don't impact the natural environment. You want a trail, you want people to stay on a trail, you want people to be safe, but you also don't want those trails to dump sediment into the rivers, for example, or become washed out and erode and impact rare plants or whatever it may be.
Checking in for the evening from Copper Lookout.
When I was a kid, my parents and I would pack up the camper and come up to North Cascades for the weekend. It was just such a fun time out there and so much to do and see. And so I think that kind of built the foundation of me wanting to explore further and kind of get more into it. I had been doing environmental education with a YMCA in Colorado, but I grew up in Washington State and had visited the park before, so I applied to be a ranger, an interpretive ranger originally, and that's how I got my start.
Yeah, it's really cool to see Baker up here.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could see it from up here. I feel like every time I've been to that trailhead a lot right as the sun is rising, and the sunrise just hits that peak so perfect.
The parks wouldn't be protected without the people here, and people wouldn't want to protect it if it wasn't for the nature, so they're kind of this symbiotic relationship. Anytime I'm high enough to see, just be surrounded by peaks, see the sea of peaks here, which I think is something that's really unique about the North Cascades, is it's not just one mountain range, it's all these mountains in this huge range.
The spirit of the mountains that I feel when I'm in the higher elevations and I'm in beautiful places and mountains kind of like this where it's quiet. I just get this special feeling. It's kind of like my church to be in, out in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of where I love to be the most for most of my adult life. In the Pacific Northwest and in the North Cascades, I definitely feel a sense of home. And even after 5 years, which isn't very long, I never would have thought that I'd be lucky enough to be working in North Cascades and the Pacific Northwest, which is about as far away from the lower 48 as you can get from where I grew up. So. There's so much area here to cover and to explore and to see that I feel like I could spend, 30 to 40 years here and still not see it all. So it's just so vast and there's so many opportunities to get lost. And 5 years is nothing for this park. Because of the resources that are out there, there was a big push for mining all kinds of minerals, gold for one. And then there's hydroelectric power, obviously, that's established in the park. And, I think that was a big reason that pushed to establish this park was they saw what was coming and maybe we better do something to preserve this pristine wilderness.
you just haven't flipped it yet.
It's the marked card that you're pointing out to everybody.
Okay, I think I want to say that one, I knew the name and then I forgot it. I feel like the best part keeps moving because like before I feel like it was Baker and Shuckson, but now like this looks so cool with all the different layers of blue. And then just like the orange.
Barely.
When you're out here, you want to keep going. You come up here to a place like Copper Ridge and you're like, and there's more of this? And I get to go do that? It's just when you see it, you're home. Like this landscape is so amazing, and just like knowing that this is your backyard is the craziest thing in the world.
I don't think there's anything else I'd rather be doing, honestly. You know, I'm truly blessed, truly lucky to have this job and to experience the experiences that I have and see the wonderful places that I've seen, and it'd be hard to convince me to do something else. I'd say my hope for the next generation and some of the things that we pass down to them, one thing that comes to mind is a sense of duty. That, you know, we're not just out here to have fun, we're out here to do a job, and we have a mission to strive for and to complete. And it is a fun job at times, but we got to remember that we're professionals and we've got a job to do. And the American public and the public in general, they're relying on us to do this job.
Bill and Abbie's stories reflect the stories of all National Park Service employees who commit their careers to the protection and preservation of these public lands for this and future generations. We are thankful for those who steward these lands, all 20,000 of them.